an alternative to save time for you, to save economy. And it doesn't mean that the participants can do anything and everything without attending physically and mentally the course which is being on. And I'm seeing that some people are still traveling. I do not know to what extent they will be focusing their attention on topic. Otherwise, the very purpose of this course which is being conducted will go in vain. So it's my humble request to all of you to come onto the screen, and it is an opportunity for looking at each other, understand each other. Anyhow, I wish you all the very best. Myself, Dr. Vishwanath from Sarada Vilas Teachers College. I have been invited by MMTTC, formerly called the UGC-HRDC Center here, to share my thoughts about how is education related to wellness. Now, all these days, maybe around 6 to 7 days or 5 to 6 days, you have been listening to many lectures. I went through the schedule, program schedule, and the topics are so nice. If it was offline, it would have been much more effective than what it is online. Anyhow, personally, I feel that offline courses are having more impact than the online courses. So I would like to see all of you, each one of you I'm observing on the screen. You need to be looking into the camera, try to participate, avoid all other things. See that the people are coming to you with something. So isolate yourself from others, participate whatever you are, however you are, wherever you are. See that you are focusing on the topic on hand. Now that is very, very important being teachers. If it is inevitable for a moment or two, you can do other things. If it is not like so, better you please look into the camera. I'm still seeing the cross faces, doing something, talking to somebody, moving here and there, looking somewhere. Now this is not nice. Okay? And we are all teachers, and see that the university is spending a lot of money on this, and these courses are meant for our promotion. And the main point behind these programs is the university wants every associate professor or assistant professor, whoever it is, to be aware of the updates, to be highly knowledgeable. Otherwise, we never fit into a higher education system. So this is my humble request, and we need not get points like this from others. So thank you so much. It's only a suggestion. Anyhow, the topic on hand is education for well-being, or education and wellness. Since 5 to 6 days, you have been exposed to the very concept of wellness. Let me tell you right now, to be very practical and pragmatistic, if you are disturbing yourself, you are not having wellness. That's all. If you are mentally disturbed, physically disturbed, not focusing on the topic, moving here and there, not able to concentrate, doing many other things, along with just looking into the camera, you are not having wellness. That's all. So what is the question? What is the usefulness of being so educated when one is not having wellness in life? So my submission is, we are all educated. We need to reflect wellness from all dimensions of our personality. That is very, very important. We can just understand who is well, who is not well, just by looking at face, looking at the behavior of a person, looking at the attitude, the dispositions, the way he speaks or she speaks, the way he or she responds to a situation, and more than all these things, the radiance on the face that reflects whether the person is having wellness in life or not. So, keeping all these things in view, please understand that you have been observed by somebody else. Especially since you are teachers, you have been observed by the management committee, whether it is a university body or a private aided college or whatever it is. You have been observed by parents, colleagues, then more than anybody else, students. Every student is quite smart today to understand a person who is teaching him or her is having wellness or. So when we talk about personality in psychology, we always feel that realistically or in reality we are different and we are wearing mask. Remember, personality is always reflected. One cannot cheat anybody and everybody, not more than once or twice. So what we are is always reflected on face, on our attitude, on our behavior, on our communication patterns, and more than that, how we present ourselves in the society. So this keeps reflecting our wellness condition or condition of wellness of our body. So keeping all these things in view, the UGC has given a very beautiful topic that is about wellness. However rich we are, whatever the properties that we have, how much ever we have achieved in life, monetarily, academically, socially, whatever it is, if you don't have your own wellness, I think you are the poorest man. So somebody says the poorest man is one who is having only money. So we say health is wealth. Okay, health is wealth. Character is wealth, we say. Conduct is wealth. So all these things, wealth means wellness. So in Kannada, we say sustiti, shikshana mattu sustiti. So since I am a teacher educator, serving in one of the most famous colleges of teacher education in the state, that is Sarada Vilas Teachers College, I have been exposed to different dimensions of psychology, especially personality aspects. And I've been called an educationist here since I teach education to my students. So since education is my subject, I was requested by the university to speak something about. I want somebody who's talking to silence the. Please make your mobile silent. If once I'm disturbed, so that breaks the flow, please. So I was just telling, now I'm detract. Now education, how is education related to wellness? I've been teaching education, I'm teaching psychology. So how are all these related to wellness? And I'm sure that you have been exposed to the concept of wellness, the different dimensions of wellness. And I do not know how many of you have really understood the actual concept of wellness. Anyhow, through certain slides, we'll try to understand how education contributes for well-being. Now, you know, the concept of wellness has to be explained once again, whether it is known to you already or not. You can see this slide. Wellness is a comprehensive concept. It is not confined to a particular state of health of the body or mind. Please understand, it is beyond health, physical health. Now, we have in psychology two terms, growth and development. Growth is confined to a physical process wherein there is an increase in the length of the body, growth, belavanige. Whereas development is a comprehensive term which conglomerates the various dimensions of human personality. ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಕಾಸ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ವಿಕಾಸ ಎರಡು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ. ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಕೇವಲ ಭೌತಿಕವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ, ಆದರೆ ವಿಕಾಸ ಸಮಗ್ರವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. So human personality is something which cannot be understood all of a sudden, and no one has understood all the dimensions of personality of himself as well as others completely. So here you can see that wellness is something related to the state of your mind. What is the mental status? How is your body growing? Whether it is getting all the nutrition that is required so that physically it grows. And both mind and body will contribute for the health, general health of the human body. Then if you are very healthy because of nutrition and good state of mind, you will have definitely a physical fitness. I think some of you might have heard what Swami Vivekananda has told. He is of the opinion that there is always a sound mind in a sound body. So if the body is good, the mind is naturally good. Sometimes the body has very good fitness, but the mind is weak. Mentally is not stable, something like that. So anyhow, the health contributes for fitness. And nutrition again deals with vitamins. And how do you sleep? What is the quality of your sleep? Quality and quantity aspects of sleep. How qualitative the sleep was last night. And how long were you sleeping? Sometimes we say, I slept only for 4 hours, but that was a very quality sleep. I was into deep sleep. So in that case, 4 hours of sleep is enough. And sometimes we sleep for 10 hours, 12 hours without having any quality. In between, there will be some bad dreams, some stress. In between, sometimes we wake up. Again, it takes a lot of time to sleep. So it is called disturbed sleep. So if in that case, even if it is 12 hours, it is not a good sleep. Then how relaxed you are, that is all the more important. Whatever may be the condition, whatever may be the situation, whatever may be the consequence of your actions in life, whether you are relaxed or not, whether you are frustrated, tensed, etc. And how active you are, that also adds to wellness. How active, whenever you are off the bed, right from 5:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning up to 10 o'clock in the night till you go to bed. How active are you physically and mentally? That is also very, very important. And what care are you taking on your body, mind, spirit, activity, behavior, communication patterns, the way you respond, the way you show yourself, the way you market yourself in the society, showcase yourself, develop good impression in the minds of others. All these things are related to how you are taking care of yourself. So you need to be very careful on yourself every minute. How am I talking to others? What is it I'm eating? Can I talk to somebody else when I'm eating? So how am I eating? What kind of food I'm eating? So what impression it makes to others when they look at me when I'm eating? So eating patterns, eating etiquette. So etiquette means samskara, the way you should do it. The do's and don'ts of doing anything is samskara. Tinnuva samskara, ahara samskara. So diet, when it comes to diet, once again, what type of food you are eating? When are you eating? At what time? What is the regular interval between 2 eatings? Okay. And what is the quantity of eating? Quality of nutrition. So all these things count a lot. Then do you strike a balance? Balance of what? Balance in everything. In fact, there is a topic on balance itself. Raghavendra, well, there's a topic on balance. Now, how do you live? Do you live to the moment or do you live keeping in view the future also? So there should be a balance. Recreation and studies, there should be a balance. Expenditure and earning, there should be a balance. Being active and being at rest, there should be a balance. So the whole life depends on how carefully you balance yourself. Work life and family life, there should be a balance. Then being stagnated in one place and being on travel. So being on travel, moving. So how long you move your body from one place to another place? Then how long do you keep your body under rest? There should be a balance. So the wholeness depends on all these aspects. Entirely, sometimes we say that entirely that is depending upon how you maintain your balance. So this slide speaks about the multi-dimensional view of wellness. I think I'm talking. Whenever you have some doubts, please ask me, raise your hand, or else you keep your doubts to your reserve, and at the end of the session, please ask me. So this slide reflects that wellness is a comprehensive factor which deals with multi-dimensional aspects of life. So ಬಹುಮುಖ ಆಯಾಮಗಳನ್ನ ಈ ಸುಸ್ಥಿರತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಸುಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಅವಲಂಬನೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Anyhow, So what is the definition of wellness? I hope that all of you have already learnt about the concept of wellness. Some people might have already told you about wellness, but still, I feel that we should always begin with this. Many people think that if they are not sick, then they are well. So I've already told you, if you feel that you are not having any kind of disease, you are having wellness. No, that is a wrong concept. So physically, I don't have any ailments. I am not suffering from any kind of diseases. Say, for example, I am not exposed to any kind of chronic diseases. I'm not having diabetes or blood pressure or chronic diseases like kidney related issues, lungs related, heart related. So whether I'm having some problems with that or not having problems on that, I can't say that I'm not having wellness or I'm having wellness. That means, say for example, if I have got some heart related issues, it doesn't mean that I don't have wellness. I have wellness. At the same time, if no diseases are there for you physically, it also doesn't mean that you are having wellness. So I hope all of you understand this. However, the definition of wellness is optimal health and vitality. Better you understand these things. What is the meaning of health? Health, it doesn't mean that I'm perfect, I'm all right, something like that. Health is the general condition of the body and mind. You can't expect the health of a body without good health of the mind, and vice versa. Without good body, you cannot have good mental health. And to some extent, or to a larger extent, even your spirit in the sense, your vitality, here that word vitality is there. So vitality refers to how active you are, how engaged you are, how quick you are in showing response, how you take up all the activities without being tired, how enthusiastic you are, how dynamic you are, what is your energy output throughout the day. Are you looking tired of doing things within half an hour or 1 hour? Or throughout the day, you keep yourself highly active. Even end of the day, you are looking so fresh. That is called vitality. So, wellness is optimal health. Optimal means maximum health. Optimal to when compared to your age, when compared to your sex or gender, rather, male or female, age, working condition, the geographical conditions, okay, and see the expectations of your intellectual abilities. Sometimes we do a lot of physical work, we are not stressed. Sometimes we do intellectual work for about 1 or 2 hours and we get a lot of stress. So even doing intellectual activities, mental activities, it takes a lot of energy from our body. So sometimes physically we are not tired, but mentally we are tired. Looking at screen, sitting on the same chair, attending so many administrative aspects, academic aspects, one gets immediately tired. So vitality of mind and vitality of body and vitality of your spirit. So all the three are very, very important. So if vitality is optimal of all these three dimensions, then we can say that you have got wellness. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸುಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ದೈಹಿಕವಾಗಿ, ಮಾನಸಿಕವಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಏನಿದೆ, ಆ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಕೊನೆಯವರೆಗೂ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಪಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗುವಂಥದ್ದು ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಯೋಗ ಅದೃಷ್ಟ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚುವರಿಯಾಗಿ ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಹವನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕಾಪಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ಮನಸ್ಸನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ a few people, even after 45, 50 years, they look very young. Even after 60, 70 years, they look 40, 45, something like that. Even at the age of 80, I have seen people are with lot of vitality. I have seen people with more than 80 years, they cycle to the top of the Chamundi. If you come to Chamundi Hill on Sundays, you can see old people cycling from the bottom, from the foothill to the top of Chamundi Hill. So is it possible for you? So they keep climbing the hill within some 30 minutes or 40 minutes. So is it possible for me? Now that is called physical vitality. So if you visit such a place, mentally you get what? nourished. So that results in mental vitality. And your spirit or Chaitanya is ignited. That is called what? The spiritual, the vitality of your dynamics or spirit. So it encompasses the physical, in Kannada we say bhautika or daihika, emotional, bhavanatmaka, intellectual, bauddhika, how your mind is working, how your brain is working, how intellectually you are developing, how you are using your brain, memory, reasoning, will, okay, all these things. Then spiritual wellness, that is also one of the dimensions. Interpersonal, intrapersonal and interpersonal. Interpersonal is one-to-one or one-to-many. How well I am when I am with others. Intrapersonal, how well I am when I am alone, whenever I am talking to myself. How I am conducting myself with myself. That is all the more important before connecting and conducting with other people. So I should know how to manage myself before I manage others. I should know how to communicate with myself before I communicate to others. So interpersonal anta andre antarvyakti anta ಹೇಳಿ. Social, how strong am I with respect to social skills? And how am I good with respect to my environment? Environment within the body, that is antaranga. Environment on my body, that is bahiranga, that is deha. And environment surrounding me, that is the external world that which is there around me. So all these things are put into well-being. So this is very, very important. So all these dimensions are counted. If there is a weakness or say some drawback in any one of the dimensions also, then it means that you are not 100% well or you don't have 100% wellness. So this is the concept of wellness. So in general, my dear friends, wellness is a very good condition, an optimal wellness or optimal vitality and health related to all dimensions: physical, emotional, intellectual, spiritual, environmental, social, ethical, cultural, then psychological, mental. All these dimensions are very, very important. When all these dimensions are taken care consciously, naturally, you will turn out to be a man with 100% wellness. And remember, see, a man with wellness is the richest man. All others are not. A man with optimal wellness can be called the richest man. And richness should be in terms of wellness only, not in terms of any other things. And this is a very simple secret of successful life. Now, again, I would like to just draw your attention to some of the aspects. Most people think of health and wellness as merely not being sick. However, the concept goes far beyond the absence or presence of a disease. I have already told you, presence of a disease doesn't mean that a man is not having wellness. I have seen people feeling so happy, though they are suffering from some chronic diseases. Physically, they are having a lot of pain, but mentally, they are very, very happy. Though they are suffering from pain physically, they don't express it, or they are not feeling pain out of it. They suffer successfully without being reflected on their face. Have you seen such people? Now, when you see an old man of 80 years or 90 years suffering from chronic diseases, but always keeps smiling, being happy, cuts jokes, makes the entire environment happy, then that man is having wellness. So wellness is not a product, let me tell you. It is not a product. It is not even a process. It is the combination of both, and that should be taken as my way of leading my life. I heard myself, people asking about it to me. And I've seen many people, among you only, around 60 people are here. Among 60, 65 of you, there may be a few people here who have been asked a question. What is the secret of your happiness? Sir, I'm seeing you always being happy, always being laughing, always being making the things very easy for you, relaxed. What is the secret of it? The secret is very simple. Keep yourself happy, not worrying anything about anything. Not worrying about anything in life. So it should be the way of life. So it should start from the day in the beginning itself. I should be happy today. I should make others happy. No situation can destroy my happiness. I should be consciously peaceful today. My preference is not any other things, but my happiness, my happy state of mind. So something like that, if you get to your mind in the beginning or the day when it begins, naturally you can be energized to make it for the whole day. An active practice of activities. Remember, wellness is an active practice of all the activities. Say, for example, you have the practice of getting up early in the morning at 4:30. So the moment you get up, so that is the beginning of your wellness. Then 4:45, you will be finishing all your work, and for about 15 minutes, you have meditation. Then at 5, you'll start walking. Up to 6, you'll have a walk of 6 kilometers for 60 minutes, or 5 to 6 kilometers, let us suppose. Then you'll come back. So all these things, if you are doing your routine activities without disturbing the schedule, then that is wellness. If you make right choices, that is wellness. Shall I still sleep? Today is Sunday, let me enjoy, let me sleep on the bed for another 2 hours. No, let it be Sunday. Let my body takes a walk. Let my body breathes a good amount of fresh air with high rich quality of oxygen in the morning. So that is the right choice. Then a lifestyle, Jivana Shaili. So please understand, my dear friends, being educated, we need to show others through our lifestyle what kind of person we are and to what extent we have wellness with ourselves. So your lifestyle is very, very important. In fact, ultimately, how you end up depends on your lifestyle by and large. Sometimes, though the lifestyle is very good, we make right choices, suddenly there will be some problem to our health. That is sometimes due to heredity. Sometimes it is genetic. Say people who are very, very active, who don't have blood pressure or cholesterol or whatever it is, their blood scenario or the blood profile is very good. The body condition is very good, but suddenly they feel heart attack. They have heart attack. Suddenly they get some kind of disease. So that may be due to heredity or genetical inheritance. So anyhow, by and large, when we take lifestyle into consideration, it is really responsible for what we are, how we will be, and how our end will be. That is very, very important. So, and lifestyles that lead someone to a state of complete well-being, complete well-being. It's not a one-day action. It's not one-day action. How you have been brought up right from your infancy stage, through your childhood days, through your adolescence, pre, post adolescence, and when you become adults, how was your health? What was your priority? How you used to take care of your body? What kind of food you used to take right from infancy? So if you take care of the first 2 years, the next 8 years are taken care. And if you take care of the first 10 years, the next 40 years are taken care. And the first 40 years of lifestyle will definitely take care of another 20 or 30 years. How you end up your life with 60 or 70 or 80 years. So this is a consequential chain. So that is why I am telling, even now, let us suppose most of us are with the average age of 40, 45, 50 years, something like that. So at this point of time, how we should be very careful on your body and your choices. If you are alcoholic, please understand, every day, every moment, pin by pin, inch by inch, or cell by cell, the liver is undergoing damage, which may not reflect within a day or two. It may reflect after 20 years or 30 years. So whatever the little bad thing that you are doing to your body, mind, it keeps on accumulating. Please understand, it keeps on accumulating. It is an additive. It is accumulated and additive. Finally, it reflects. So for that, it cannot be taken as one-day action. See, if you go for Panchakarma Chikitsa or a wellness program for a week or 10 days, so next week only you cannot have radiance on your body and mind. So it reflects after 1 month or after 15 days. And that adds to the well-being of your body, mind, and spirit. At the same time, if you say drink a small sample of alcohol today, let's suppose, it will have its impact. To overcome that, you will have 1 week program, a cleansing program. So that may be nullified. Again, if you repeat, then definitely nothing can be helpful. So with respect to wellness, we need to be very, very careful and conscious. Instead, it's a deliberate means purposeful, conscious, and self-directed. See, we need not go for a wellness camp, let us suppose. We need not attend any kind of camp, or we need not go for any kind of medication related to wellness. See, our body is such a wonderful machine. It keeps consciously giving you an alert. Please understand. It gives you an alert that, say, today, yesterday, the food which you have consumed last night was not good for me. The very next day, you will have the problem. Last week, you had continuous eating outside, so that is affecting next week's body condition. So if you have worked out so much and tired too much today, it reflects tomorrow. It reflects on your body tomorrow. So like that, whatever you do right now, it will have its consequence and result in the forthcoming time. So it is self-directed. How much I should walk? How much I should eat? What decision I should take? What should I do today? Though it is Sunday, how should I spend it meaningfully? So all these things are very, very important. You need not worry about, you need not give a chance to direct you to somebody else. You take the drive. You are on the steering wheel. So you drive yourself. So wellness is depending on how well you are directing yourself. That is called self-directing effort. One makes every day to be in a healthy state of body, mind, and spirit. So how was my day today? So based on the result and feedback, you need to see how I should spend tomorrow. How I should see. Say, for example, last night, I had been to a hotel, a North Indian hotel. I ate so much late night, say around 10:30 or 11 o'clock. So what is its impact today? See, normally I've seen people enjoying on weekends, Friday evenings or Saturday night outs. So it will affect their morning on Sunday. So the whole Sunday, they'll waste their time just because that they had a wrong choice of their food or drink or whatever it is, even the time on Saturday evening or Friday evening. So it is how? Say it's something like on 31st of December, we all enjoy party, outing, then this, alcohol, then heavy food, non-vegetarian food, so many things. But it affects the next day morning, which is January 1st of next year. That is New Year beginning. And the whole day, we are not active. So is it the way to celebrate 31st night? So that is what the people say. So if you want to be having well-being or wellness on next day, you need to be careful on the previous day. It is something like hot summer is going on. Tomorrow, your plant has to survive the sun's heat. So today evening, you need to you need to water the plant. So if you water the plant tonight or today evening, the whole tomorrow afternoon, it will survive. Otherwise, no. So today's feeding reflects tomorrow's performance. That is why in Seika, we say whenever we talk about growth and development of human beings, especially during infancy and childhood days, the body has to be nourished properly. Otherwise, the next 20, 30 years, the child is going to suffer a lot. So keeping this in view, so tomorrow's wellness.
Madam,
wellness in general, Dr. Kaveri Madam, please. Wellness in general of the whole life depends on how you spend every day and what is your lifestyle. So it is multidimensional. It is not about treating a disease or being in perfect physical health. For example, I am having a small kind of a disease today. So I take rest and the disease is not there. It is not that you are 100% you are having 100% wellness. No. It commands about 8 dimensions for you to achieve wellness goals. There is something called wellness goals. Now, these days, people are very conscious about wellness. Now, I told you, no, not only 8, there are more than some 10 to 12 dimensions of human personality. So, wellness is an ongoing process and a lifelong journey, not a one-time event. So, you need to be very careful, very conscious about how is your being with respect to your body, mind, and spirit throughout. It is not that I just attended 1 week Panchakarma Chikitse or Ayurvedic treatment. So I am totally cleansed and I am having 100% wellness. It is a myth. It's a myth. Even after coming back from that Ayurvedic treatment, okay, of 1 week or 10 days, if you repeat your old lifestyle, then again it is going to affect your health. I have seen people once a while getting their body cleansed. I've seen people attending 1 week or 10 days program, 1 month program. They visit that Dharmasthala SDM, then Ujire, then somewhere in Udyavur in Udupi, then SDM, this one in where? Hasan. There are so many. Okay, there are so many naturopathy clinics and other things. They go and attend and come back. They stay for about 1 week, spending lakhs of rupees. When they come back, again, they stick on to their previous kind of lifestyle, committing the same errors once again. So what is the use? So that is what it says. So wellness is overall well-being. It's the result of focusing intentionally and taking action on all the 8 interconnected dimensions of wellness. My dear friends, I'm repeating: human body, mind, and spirit. Now, these are the 3 very important integral dimensions, which again, in turn, in them, they have got 8 to 10 other dimensions, secondary dimensions. So, it is addressing all 8 dimensions of wellness to build everyday habits. Remember, habits and hobbies, they make what a man is. Habits and hobby. Habits ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸಗಳು, ಹಾಬೀಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹವ್ಯಾಸಗಳು. ನಮ್ಮ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಹವ್ಯಾಸಗಳು ನಾವು ಎಂತಹ ಜೀವನ ಶೈಲಿಯನ್ನ ರೂಢಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ, ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಯಾರಿಟೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ, ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಬೆಟರ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಅಮಾಂಗ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹೂ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ everyday basically good habits and good habits, so that improve the quality of our life. It may also help individuals live longer. Again, I'm telling, if you live longer without good wellness or life or health, it is of no use. Manage current health conditions. It may be not 100% fit today, but still, if you maintain that till you die, definitely you are having some wellness. And support recovery from wellness. Remember, a man with good health has got immunity. Normally, he doesn't get easily infected by microorganisms. Even if he is, within 1 day or 2 days, he will get recovered. Within 1 day or 2 days. It never becomes chronic. So, please understand, if a man is recovered within a couple of days, his general body conditions are good. Unfortunately, he was infected by a disease-causing microorganism or some due to allergic conditions in the environment. So suddenly, without having any strong medication, he himself has recovered, means he has got perfect health. So without medication, if you are getting rid of any kind of disease, that reflects that your body is quite, in a quite good condition. So it has wellness like that. So injury or addiction, even if the injuries and wounds are immediately treated or they get rid of, okay, it means that you are good. And it is self-direction and self-regulation. Self-regulation. I should get up at this point of time. I should drink a big glass of warm water in the beginning. Then I should have all restroom activities clearly. Okay, one-time restroom activity. Then I meditate. I go for a walk. I eat well, I sleep well, I work well, I rest well, relax well. So all these things are under the care of your self-direction and self-regulation. Regulation. ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ನೀವು ಹೇಗೆ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಿ ಡೈಲಿ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು. So habits and hobbies, I have told you, all these things are contributing for wellness. Anyhow, the World Health Organization, WHO, in 1948, okay, as per its constitution, it says, health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity, disease or any kind of disorder sometimes. So if it is not having that, it doesn't mean that you are not feeling well. So having that also, it doesn't mean that you don't have wellness. The term was initially brought to use in the US by Albert L. Dunn. So he's very famous. He's sometimes called the father of wellness movement in the 1950s. Albert Dunn, he is called the father of wellness, like that. Then what are the different dimensions? I think some others have already told about it. I hope so. Here I have given you some 6 or 7 or 8, but there are plenty of. So multiple dimensions of well-being. So wellness comprises of several integral dimensions. You can see the picture, beautiful picture here. Intellectual. So in the later stages, I'm going to discuss with you briefly what is intellectual. Intellectual is something that is related to your brain, knowledge, intellect, how knowledgeable you are, how you are using your brain, how strong your brain is in receiving the information, processing the information, retrieving the information, storing it for a long time. So that all comes under your intellectual dimension. Then physical, how is your body? So whether the height balances with the weight, that is all the more important. The height should have a balance with the body weight. How is your body mass index? How is your bone weight? Sometimes we are very thin, but our body weight is more. Sometimes because of fluid nature of our body, it weighs more. So all these things are very, very important. Then social. How socially you are fit in the society? How are your social skills? What are your social dimensions? Whether you are having good social relationship with your community people who live in your community rather, or people who come in contact with you in your profession every day. So that is called social dimension. Spiritual. So some people become spiritual at the very young age of their life, and some people after 60 or 70, after realizing that there is nothing left in life. So one need not become totally spiritual in the beginning. Remember very well, it all depends on what is the quality of spiritual dimension that you have, then what is the intensity of spiritual feelings that you have, and what is the point of time at which you are getting these spiritual feelings and divine feelings in your life. Now remember, all these things do not have any kind of fixed time to appear in life. Now make it a point to understand. One need not wait to become old to become spiritual. Now you have seen people like, say, Vivekananda, Basavanna, then whoever it is, Siddhartha, they all became spiritual in their young age only, when they were in childhood only. Take the example of Shankaracharya. He became spiritual at the time of 10 years or 12 years. So is it abnormal? No. So having good health means you need to have all these dimensions in a balance throughout your life, irrespective of your age, and status in the society. State versus status. In fact, state is more important than status. A man with a very good status but not having a good state of mind or body or wellness, it is of no use. He cannot perform his duties being in the good position with the power. So your performance or achievement, being on chair, being with a great status of an administrator, for example, or a political leader or a CM or PM, whoever it is, or the vice chancellor of a university, or the principal of an institution, or a teacher in a classroom, father at home, mother at home, whoever it is, with a power and designation, if they don't have good state, sthiti, then their status doesn't have any weightage. So I request each one of you to understand the relationship between state and status. So don't run behind status. If you run behind status, and by other terms, if you get into a very good status, if your state of body, mind, and spirit are not good, then you are doing injustice to the status. Sometimes we see a man with, when small people occupy big chairs, the chairs shrink. When small people occupy big chairs, the chairs shrink. That means if your state is not good, and if you are given a good status, you are really doing something nonsense there. So without having a good state, you can't enjoy your status. That is 100% true. So it's a universal truth. So don't keep worrying about what status you have in life, please. You know it already. Actually, it's a universal truth. So always worry about what is your state of mind. See, I was discussing some days ago with one of the ashrams, Swamiji. He was telling, see, I went to his ashram. There was nothing in the ashram in BR Hills. So I asked, what are your basic needs? He said, I always meditate. I keep just having some fruits, etc. That's all. So having a good state is more important than having status. This is very, very important. In fact, if you look into your status, how many of we are enjoying our status being in this position? Most of us are not, because most of us are, I'm not generalizing it, most of us are not enjoying our state, and we would like to enjoy our status without being conscious about how our state is. So he said, how to say, someone was retiring. I was asking, do you get a pension? He said, no, I'm not getting pension. Then how do you manage your life within some 5,000 or 6,000? He said, no difference. All these years I used to get good money. I used to spend it for something which is not really necessary to spend on. Now from next month onwards, I'll reduce my needs. I'll give priorities only to my food, my stay. That's all. That itself is enough. So this is what a very healthy state of mind. So if you reduce your needs, you're having mental or whatever it is, wellness. If you're having good status, good power, good designation, good income, but not having a good state means you are not having wellness. So this is a universal truth. So what are these different dimensions? I have already told you quite a number of times. Emotional, bhavanatmaka. How strong are you emotionally? Very, very important. I have seen people with very good, administrative power committing suicide, getting into the clutches of depression. So why this happens? For small things, they think too much, they worry too much. So emotionally, they are not sound. Physical, then occupational. Occupational wellness means how are you enjoying your work? How are you relaxed, though you are working too much in your profession? How do you love? Whether you love your profession or not, whether you are enjoying every bit of your profession or occupation in the place where you are working from morning till evening, whether you are happy by the end of the day, whether have you made others in your work climate or workplace happy because of you. So that counts for occupational wellness. Social wellness. How are you in society? Do you make yourself happy being with others? ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನೀವು ಹೇಗಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಗೆ ಖುಷಿ ಪಡಿಸ್ತೀರಿ, ಅವರಿಂದ ನೀವು ಹೇಗೆ ಖುಷಿ ಹೊಂದುತ್ತೀರಿ? How do you understand others? How do you express your emotions when you are in the group? So emotional dimensions are somehow related to all other dimensions. Physically, if you are strong, emotionally also sometimes you are strong. So spiritual, intellectual, environmental, and financial. financial or economic wellness is also very, very important. Now, these days, the life is becoming quite expensive. You know very well that that everything is becoming quite hard to bear. So in such kind of situation, how do you plan your income? So if it is less, what are your plans to earn little more so that you can have a minimum level of quality of life? So that all is related to financial wellness. So if any one of these dimensions is neglected or ignored over time, it will definitely affect adversely your health, your well-being, and the quality of life. So remember, my dear friends, quality of life doesn't get reflected in your money, assets, the huge volume of your home, huge quantity of bank balance, or vehicles, or traveling across the world, or having a lot of jewels on your body. So all these things are never the indicators of your wellness or quality of life. A poor man can also have the best quality of life more than the richest man who is not at all having qualitative life. So remember, all in mind, all in mind, all in mind. So the mind directs the whole body, and the body directs your wellness. How active you are, that is called spirit. So the mind, body, and spirit. These are the three integral dimensions which need to be consciously trained. Otherwise, if one dimension is affected, naturally the other two get severely affected. And the balance comes down and the wellness is destroyed. Thank you. Now, there is something called wellness wheel. I hope all of you can enjoy this time, or somebody else might have already shown you this. Now, here you can start right from the top right one, physical. So doing some exercise, having healthy diet, and sleeping for fairly a good amount of time, maybe around 6 to 7 hours minimum, or maximum 7 to 8 hours. Too much of sleep is also not good, as some doctors have told. So doing reasonably good exercise. Remember, it is not doing hard exercise. It is doing light exercises repeatedly, rhythmically, without putting your body into physical strain. That is called exercise. Then healthy diet. So remember, when it comes to the question of diet, you need to be very careful. Please understand, before putting anything to our mouth, hold on for a moment. Understand what kind of impact that this sample of food is going to have on my body, how my body responds tomorrow or tonight, something like that. Then the sleep. So all these things are dealt under physical wellness. Then social wellness, the time with friends, relatives, neighbors, family members, and people in the community, your counterparts, okay, and the people who depend on you, maybe your students, okay, all these things will come under social wellness. Then under emotional wellness, acknowledging and expressing feelings. Remember, how strong are you emotionally? How many of us are here who start immediately crying at a very small scene of a what? An accident or whatever it is. If you start crying, when you see somebody crying, then emotionally you are a little weak. You can't hold on. So emotional health is with respect to what kind of emotions you have, what is the degree or intensity of emotions that you are showing, whether it is a positive emotion, a neutral emotion, or a negative emotion. Then how are you showing, how are you expressing your emotions? With anger, with scolding, using some nonsense words, abusing and accusing others, self-hurting or hurting others, and using very bad and ugly words, non-parliamentary words on others, or doing some crimes, or crying, or jumping, or being depressed. So how you show your emotional bursts, emotional things. So that is very important. In my opinion, being a psychology teacher, emotional health of a man reflects on how he or she regulates her or his emotions in day-to-day conditions or day-to-day situations. What emotions I have, what is the intensity of my emotions. ಈಗ ಕೋಪ ಬಂತು, ತುಂಬಾ ಕೋಪ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾ, average level ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾ, should it be just minimum, and how long it should be, ತುಂಬಾ ದೀರ್ಘಕಾಲೀನ ಕೋಪ ಬೇಕಾ, ಆ ಕ್ಷಣಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದು ಹೋಗೋದಿರ್ಬೇಕಾ, ಅಥವಾ ಕೋಪನೇ ಬರಬಾರ್ದ. So intensity, the timing, the duration, then the way you express, that is also very important. And with whom, ಯಾರ್ಯಾರ ಹತ್ರ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ತರ ಭಾವನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ನೀವು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಿ, ಹೇಗೆ ಹಂಚ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಿ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಮೋಷನ್, ಹೌ ಆರ್ ಯು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸಿಂಗ್, what is the time, who is the person, what is its intensity, and what media are you using to express your emotions. So all these things should be consciously born in your mind. That is called impression management. Impression management. Now that is a new life skill. In fact, that has been a old life skill, but now these days, as a matter of trend, we are bringing it to the forefront. Impression management means consciously how you are trying to develop positive impressions in your counterpart. Counterpart means it can be your student. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ, ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತನಾಡುವಾಗ, ಬೇರೆಯವರ ಜೊತೆ ವ್ಯವಹರಿಸುವಾಗ, ಒಂದು ಗುಂಪಿನಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಗ, ಒಂದು ಸಮುದಾಯದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಗ, 4-6 ಜನ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತನಾಡುವಾಗ, ನೋಡುವಾಗ, ಅಥವಾ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ, ಸಂವಾದ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ನಾವು ಬಹಳ ಕಾನ್ಶಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವುದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕಾನ್ಶಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು? ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಕಾನ್ಶಿಯಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಹೌ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಬಿಹೇವಿಂಗ್, ಹೌ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್, ವಾಟ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್, ಹೌ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಮೈಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಇನ್ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅದರ್ಸ್. Because all these things constitute what is called a general impression in the mind of others about me. ನನ್ನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬೇರೆಯವರು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯವನ್ನ ತಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಧನಾತ್ಮಕ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯವನ್ನ, ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ದು ನನ್ನ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯ. To see that others are having good impression on you. ನೋಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. It is not their mistake. Remember, whenever others are not getting good impression on me, we see that it is their mistake. ನೋಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ತಪ್ಪುತ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ನಾವು. ನನ್ನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಭಾವನೆಯನ್ನ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರು ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಅವ್ರ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ನೀವು ಮೂಲ ಸತ್ಯವನ್ನು ಹುಡುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಯಾವ ವರ್ತನೆಯಿಂದ, ಮಾತುಗಳಿಂದ ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಸನ್ನಿವೇಶದಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮಿಂದಾಗಿ ಆ ರೀತಿಯ ಭಾವನೆಗಳು ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಉಂಟಾಗು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದನ್ನ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದಾಗ ಪರಮ ಸತ್ಯ ಗೋಚರ ಆಗೋದು ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮದೇ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಇಂಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್. Remember very well, why I am discussing about impression management, though it is not given here, is your wellness is directly related to your impression management. So if you are impressing others, not consciously, not as a matter of fake impression, it should be spontaneous, natural, without putting any kind of external artificial trials, artificial efforts. ಸಹಜವಾಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಉಳಿದವರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಇಂಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಯಾವುದೇ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನವಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಅದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ವೆಲ್ನೆಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವೆಲ್ನೆಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ disposition of what? Good impression, good acts, good vibes, vibrations in others. Natural creation of vibration in others. Natural evolving of impressions, positive impressions in others on you means you are having wellness. ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಬೇರೆಯವರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಯಾವುದೇ ಪ್ರಜ್ಞಾಪೂರ್ವಕ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನವಿಲ್ಲದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಹಜವಾದ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿತ್ವದಿಂದ ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಭಾವನೆಗಳನ್ನ, ಸಂವೇದನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಸಹಜವಾಗಿ, ನೈಸರ್ಗಿಕವಾಗಿ, ಧನಾತ್ಮಕವಾಗಿ ಮೂಡಿಸಿದ್ದೇ ಆದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ವೆಲ್ನೆಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸುಸ್ಥಿತಿ 100ಕ್ಕೆ 100ರಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. Please try to understand the intricacy of this concept. So this is very, very important. So I need to I need to be always conscious about what impressions others are getting on me. So that purely depends on how well I am. So wellness is depending on that also. So emotional dimensions are very, very important. Then intellectual dimensions are dealing with learning. How do you learn? How do you acquire your knowledge, skills, attitude, aptitude, all these things? Then exploring something new. How strong your mind is. So Newton is intellectually very sound, we say. Stephen Hawking was intellectually very sound, though physically he was not. All through his life, he suffered from a disease. He was not at all having any kind of control and coordination in his body. He spent his prime time on the wheelchair inside the home doing a lot of research on universe, that is black holes. So being physically unfit, mentally he was very strong. So intellectually he was very sound. So that is what learning and making our brain used, that is all the more important. Then spiritual. Spiritual means something that is related to understanding oneself, the very purpose of why I am here, having higher goals in life. So spirituality reflects how consciously you are doing or you are working for realizing what you are, and slowly you are moving.
Practicals ಮಾಡಿ.
What?
Easy ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
Yeah. Somebody is making noise. Krishna Kumar, Krishnamurti BS. So doing some medication, doing some prayer, then spending a lot of time with the nature, understanding the intricacies of life, Vidhi Vilasa, Nisarga, Devaru, Srishti, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರಾಪಂಚಿಕ ನಿಯಮಗಳು, ಪರಿಸರ, ಜೀವಿಗಳು, ನನ್ನ ಪಾತ್ರ, ಆತ್ಮಶುದ್ಧಿ, ನಿಸರ್ಗದೊಂದಿಗೆ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಒಂದಾಗಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಈ ತರದ ಆಲೋಚನೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇವೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅನ್ನೋದಾದ್ರೆ, you are slowly moving towards spiritual dimension of your life. And in fact, the life becomes so sweet and good, even that spiritual dimension starts working right from the childhood days to some extent. Occupational. And then what is the amount of happiness that I have derived? How joyfully I am working in my college or university. Whether I am able to reach my goal, being enjoying the profession, not doing hard work. If I am able to enjoy my hard work, occupationally you are very sound. That means you are having occupational wellness. So meaningfully engaging yourself in your work, setting some targets, achieving that on time, that is very, very important. And enjoying being very, very busy, that is also very important. I enjoy being under stress, people say. Stress sometimes is positive as well as negative. So stress many a times acts as a positive thing. Whenever it leads to achieve. Anita Lakshmi, whenever it leads to something, okay, achievement. So that is called occupational. Enjoying my profession, enjoying my occupation, enjoying my work, enjoying my employment, enjoying doing some job. So all these things come under occupational wellness. Then environment, having safe inner and outer environment. I do not know how many of you have seen. So Sadhguru, for example, Vasudev, Jaggi Vasudev, okay. So he always conducts workshops on inner engineering. I think you have heard. I have read most of his books. When you read his books, you feel that you are enjoying being spiritual as well as practical. Okay. So having good environment, internal environment means something that is related to your body condition. How is your heart? Whether the heart condition is good, whether all the valves are doing well, whether the chambers are expanding and contracting, whether blood vessels are clear without any kind of accumulated fat or cholesterol inside, clogging. So this thing is related to the health of the physical health of your heart. How are my lungs? Are they clear? How are my kidneys? Are they doing their work properly? Filtration, for example. How is my brain? whether all the parts of my brain are working as per the literature. So whether they are doing their individual jobs. How are my sense organs? How quick I am reflecting to all kinds of environmental stimuli. So all these things are depending upon your internal environment. Environment refers to both internal as well as external. Internal environment means how is your body, mind, and spirit that belongs to you as an entity. An entity. You're an entity. You are a matter, you are a material rather, a living material, a living thing, having these three dimensions. So, how these three dimensions which are present inside you that constitute internal environment. External, the place where you are working, how is your table, how is your room, how is your classroom. Last 2 minutes or 3 minutes. So, how is your bag? How is your vanity bag? How is your purse? Just look into your purse. How is it? How is your mobile? Have you ever seen how a lot of dust is there on your mobile? You open that cover, then see a lot of dust is there. How is your specs? So, all these things are related to external environment. So, environment means the body, internal, and the workplace environment, and in total or in general at a higher level, environment around us. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪರಿಸರ, ನಮ್ಮ ಸುತ್ತಲಿನ ಪರಿಸರ, ಬೆಟ್ಟ ಗುಡ್ಡಗಳು, ನದಿಗಳು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ವಾಸ ಮಾಡೋ ಸ್ಥಳ, ನಮ್ಮ ಬೀದಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಕೂಲು. ಸೊ ಇದೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ಫಿನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ budgeting. That is also very, very important. Some people budget their monthly salary, their yearly income, their yearly expenditure. Very carefully they do it, and sometimes it goes wrong. So some people never budget anything, but without being so conscious, they'll be keeping on saving some money for their future requirements. So budgeting, planning, saving money, it is not saving 100% money. If you save 100% income, then you are the poorest man on earth. So money gets a value only when it is spent on right things at right time. Please understand. ಸರಿಯಾದ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ, ಸರಿಯಾದ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ, ಸರಿಯಾದ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಹಣವನ್ನು ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಆ ಹಣಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಥ ಇದೆ, ಬೆಲೆ ಇದೆ. The currency, please understand, otherwise it becomes only paper. It never becomes currency. ನೀವು ಹಣ ಮಾಡಿ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಲ್ಲೇ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿನೆಲ್ಲ ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹಾಗೆ ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ಮಾಡ್ದಲೇ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಉಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಈ ತರದೆಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ದೆರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ದ ವೆರಿ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್. ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಇಲ್ಲ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಕೊಡೋದು ಒಳ್ಳೇದು, ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಫಿನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ವೆಲ್ನೆಸ್. ಸಿ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಮನಿ, then that is financial wellness. If you are not able to earn a lot of money, then if you reduce your needs,